What if you win? Seriously, I want you to really think about this. What if you win? Most of us, whenever we think about the concept of what if, we're always thinking about the negative. What if something bad happens to you? What if I end up failing? What if I don't get that degree? What if I don't get the right person in my life? What if I end up falling on my face in front of everybody? What if I mess up in front of everybody? Everybody's always thinking about the negatives when it comes to the concept of what if. But what if you win? What if the thing you thought of in your mind this whole time comes into fruition and even exceeds your expectations? What if you even get better than where you thought you would ever get to in your whole life? What if you succeed and climb higher mountains and meet the right people and get the best person, the best partner for your life? What if everything you thought about actually happens? What if you succeed? I'll never forget the first time I really thought about this concept of what if. I was 19 years old or about 20 years old at the time. And this was my first speaking engagement in front of my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. And I remember she told me, she said, "Bryan, you have to do well. You gotta put in the effort." And it brought so much, when I tell you it brought so much fear inside of me, because I said to myself, this is the first time she's listening to me, the first time her mom is going to be there, that this is in front of, a good amount, maybe about 200 people. There was so much fear that came into my mind. What if I mess up? What if my girlfriend hates it? What if her mother hates it? What if nothing happens? What if I don't impact people? What if this was a bomb? And I remember sitting there and I asked myself the question, "Bryan, you're thinking so negative. What if this works? What if you impact lives? What if people actually come and say, wow, I got hope from this message? What if this is so impactful for everyone that's listening?" And I remembered after everything was said and done, her mom came to me, and she's a very talkative person. But she came to me and she actually had tears in her eyes, and she just basically hugged me, and that was it. And I knew, I was like, wow, this was impactful. I saw so many young people wanting to do better for themselves. And it's the same thing that I do now. I mean, when I tell you I go in front of so many different people, and I always ask myself the question, what if this doesn't work? What if I go into these presentations and I do this whole assembly and none of these kids listen to anything that I have to say? I'll never forget this moment last year. I finished a presentation in the class. It was about an hour and a half. I did a presentation. And I remembered walking out and I asked myself the question, man, what if these kids literally just listened to this whole thing and just they didn't get it? And I had a kid run out of the classroom, literally running out of the classroom. "Hey, Mr. St. Louis." I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And this kid, you would have thought, was never paying attention throughout the whole time that I was speaking. And he said to me, "I finally get it. Thank you so much for this presentation. This is exactly what I needed in my life." Gave him a hug. I told him, I said, "Look, man, I'm looking forward to seeing the future with you being positive and powerful for everyone around you." All the what ifs that came into my mind, it's not true until I actually have evidence to back it up. And the evidence said this changed the life of so many kids. Because I remember he even told me, he said, "Don't take our silence for negativity," something of that nature. He said, "We were listening, and this was one of the most powerful presentations we've ever listened to." What if everything that you thought in your mind actually happens? What if all the concepts that you said possibly might not work actually does work? What if everything that you have put to the table that you wanted to turn into fruition actually happens, and greater than what you even thought possible? You need to stop asking yourself, what if this doesn't work? And you need to start asking yourself, what happens when I win?